Okay, so for this video, there's some doors that I created that I would like to implement for this castle. So first of all, I'm going to go to the folder where I have my door animations. So I'll select the door idle. So idle is the one where it's closed. I need to go to animation, turn on loop time, apply. In modeling, I need to generate colliders. Apply. You have to do the same thing for the open, which is it's looping animation where it's open. So generate colliders, apply, and loop animation, apply. Okay, so when that's done, I'm going to go into the materials folder, and I'll right click, create material. This will be door matte, and to that I'm going to add my door textures. So color goes here, and the normal goes here. I'll turn down the shininess, I don't want it to be too shiny, or the smoothness. And I'm going to go to, I'm going to select my model, and in the materials tab I'm going to drag and drop the material that I just created. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a bit of like bump now. In the, I guess I need to create an animator folder, so I'm going to go back here, in the environment, oops. So this new animation or animator folder, I'll create animation animator controller. This will be door animator. I'll open that up, and I want to create from new blend tree, and this one I'll call door. Open that up, and I'm going to create two fields. One is going to be door idle, which is closed, and this other one is going to be open. So if I slide, then it opens. I'll rename this to let's call it open. And another thing I need to add to that is the animations, the opening animation. So he pushes it open and it opens up really fast. So his animation, the animation in Blender, he does like a thrust, boom, like that. So it opens in like half a second. So I want to create a trigger called opening, and I'm going to make a transition, and on the transition there it has no exit time, and the trigger is going to be opening, and on the way back there is no condition. I'll turn off has exit time as well. I'm going to go back into the scene. I'm going to go to where the player is. I'm going to move the player over because he's at 0, 0, 0. So I'm going to create this door right where he's at. So create empty, I'll just call it door. Make sure transform 0, 0, 0. And into here, I'm going to create animator. I'll specify the animator, door animator. And I think I need a rigid body. I'm not too sure. Rigid body. Is kinematic. Actually, I'm going to leave this out for now. To this, I'm going to add my castle door. And I don't know. First, it needs to be parented. I think that's the front. Anyways, what I need to do is I want to grab this castle door, and the parent, the empty object, it's right here. But oh, this has to be 0, 0, 0 as well to start off. So that's at the center, but the actual model has to be pushed back by 1 unit. The reason is when I go into the animation, he makes contact. His center is half a unit away from the contact of his hand contact of the door, which means if I grab the parent, it's going to be half a unit, which is where he's going to stand from where he pushes the door. Because when he pushes the door, he's going to snap to this point. So before I go any further, I'm going to put it into place, which is at the front of the building, on top of the stairs. With that in place, I'm going to go into my input system, and I have to create an action. Oh, this is the default one. I'm going to select the one that I created, and I'm going to create an action. It's going to be called interact. It's going to be action type button, and the binding is going to be middle button. And I want to save asset, and I want to go into scripts. I need to create a script folder first. And I want to create a script called door. I'm going to open that up. Okay, so before I forget, I'm going to grab the door and drag the door script onto the door before I forget. And over here, I'm going to First, I'm going to create some variables called bool can interact equals false. Public game object called player, and animator called animator, and animator equals get component animator. First I need to copy and paste this button function. I'll call this let's call it interact. If context performed, if the button is pressed, then can interact equals true. If not, then can interact equals false. I'm going to compile that. I'm going to hop back into the editor. With the door selected, I'm going to add a component player input. I need to input my player controller input, and the behavior is invoke Unity events. I'm going to drop this down, and oops. In MC Basic, there should be interact. So I'm going to create this here, and into that I'm going to drag and drop the script, and in this function, I can't drag and drop it from here, so I put the script down here, and I'm going to drag and drop like this. And now if I go down, then I can go into the door script and trigger interact. And from there, first I'll in the MC Basic at the very bottom, I'm going to create a public void. Public void open door, and I realized that I forgot to add the animation to the player, so animations, open door, I'll go to the animator, and I'm going to drag it and drop, rename it open door, and get transition there and back. I'll do a trigger open door, and it has no exit time. The trigger is open door, and on the way back there is no condition. So I'm going to go animator dot set trigger open door. So back in the door script, if can interact is true, if can interact equals true, then player dot get component player movement, which is the script inside the script. I am going to trigger, the open door function. Oh, sorry, not player movement. MC underscore basic. So this is going to trigger this here, this open door. So I'm going to compile both of these. Put a period here, so there's a period. And in order for this to work, I needed to create a variable MC basic called MC basic. And here I want to create a start coroutine. Actually, before I do that, I need to move the player. Transform dot position equals transform dot position. So the position of the player moves to the position of the door, and I'm also going to do the same thing for transform dot rotation equals transform dot rotation, and start coroutine open door. Enumerator put this into brackets. Enumerator open door yield return new wait 4 seconds, and after half a second animator dot set trigger open door. The reason why is because opening is because when this animation is triggered of him pushing, the door doesn't start moving until after half a second, right here. So in the script, the animation is already triggered right away. So as soon as that animation is triggered, you have to wait half a second for this opening. And then yield return new wait 4 seconds 0. Actually, after 1 second, actually another 0.5. I'll go 0.6. So that's basically, I'll start at 0.6. I'll do 0.2. Then we'll go animator dot set bool set float 1. Okay, and I'm going to compile it and see if this works. Okay, I'm going to hop into the editor, and with the door selected, I need to make sure the main character is plunked in, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, one crucial thing that I forgot is in the door script I have to do a distance to player, so a float called distance to player, and I have to set that in the update. So we'll go distance to player equals vector 3 dot distance brackets player dot transform dot position, so the position of the player to the position of the doors, which is transform dot position. So with this distance to player calculated, when the button is pressed, this can interact should only be true if not only if the button is pressed, but if distance to player is within a certain distance. So I'll make it smaller or equal to 2. So I'm going to compile that. Okay, a couple things I forgot. I forgot to add a rigid body to the door, so I added a rigid body, and I turned off gravity, and also with the door FBX, I forgot to create an avatar, so all you had to do was, by default it's no avatar, so you click on create from this model and then hit apply, and in the door animator you have to specify the avatar, so you just click on this thing here and select the avatar. And one thing that I need to fix right now is in the open door, I need to create a bool called can open door, and by default it's true. So this animation trigger only happens if can open door is equal to true, and if it's true, the button is, if this thing is triggered, then not only does this animation play, but can open door is set to false. And I need to set it to true again after a certain amount of time. So start coroutine. I'm going to call it can open door again. So down here I'm going to create enumerator can open door again. And it's going to be yield return new, wait 4 seconds. So I'll do something nice and substantial, like 3 seconds, because he's not going to open another door. within that time because the other door is so far away. I'll go can open door is equal to true. And I forgot to put a semicolon here. And here as well. So I'm going to compile that. Yeah, so the only reason why I did this is because I don't want immediately can't open door set to false. If I don't do that, then this might trigger again and again. So that's why I set it to false immediately, and then after 3 seconds, it's going to be true. So if I play, so if I go up to the door, just see I'm facing the other direction. I press the middle mouse button. It's not perfect, but I think there's some tweaking that I need to do, but it shows that it works. So I'm just going to cut it off here, and hopefully enjoy that, and be on the lookout for more videos. Thanks.